Our next guest is an actor and producer who you might remember from Sons of Anarchy, Designated Survivor, The Last Ship, or as the role of the Monitor from the Arrowverse series. Now he gets to saddle up and take part in a Western as one of the stars in 1883, which is the hit prequel to the Emmy-nominated series Yellowstone. I'd like to welcome LaMonica Garrett to the show. Hi, good morning to you, LaMonica. Thanks for joining us today. I'm over here in San Francisco, your old stomping grounds.
Oh, the Bay, City by the Bay. I love it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. You must have many memories here.
It was the best place to grow up. I tell you, like it was, great memories.
Right on. Well, speaking of memories, before we get into 1883, I was wondering if we can take a brief look back at the early stages of breaking into your acting career. And can you maybe share what sparked your interest or your calling into the entertainment industry?
I like back in the Bay, we used to go to the rec centers, and I was a part of a breakdancing crew in the '80s. I got a little older. I was rapping, I was singing, I was entertaining. I was doing plays. I knew I wanted to be a part of it, and I moved to LA around when I was a teenager, and it just I saw different actors. I played football as well, but once football was over, acting seemed like something tangible that I could touch. And it seemed like I can do it, so I went after it.
Do you actually remember your first paid acting gig?
It was One Tree Hill, actually, and it was through slam ball. Like slam ball was a sport I played after football, and I still had that that competitive bug in me for sports. And they did a 3-episode arc on slam ball, and I told the slam ball guys, like, hey, I've been in acting class, I can do this. So I was able to play a character on One Tree Hill, and after that I came back from Wilmington, and it was like, this is what I'm doing. No more slam ball. Like, I've got the bug now from actually being on set, and there's no turning back.
Yeah, so I'm curious, LaMonica, what project or roles do you consider your big break? And because most actors have what they feel is their big break and kind of the place of where they've arrived, and this is it, no turning back.
There was something, it was a short film I did called The Duke.
Oh, yeah.
And it was about a football player suffering from CTE, concussion syndromes, and he still thought he was able to play, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
And it was an AFI thesis film. I did it for free, but it was something that meant something to me as a former football player, and I played with concussions.
Wow.
And against my agency and, my manager's best interest, I said, I'm doing this. And we ended up going to Tribeca. We went to Cannes Film Festival. It won a bunch of awards. And doing that was that was my first time really leading something, leading the whole charge. And that's how this is what I want to be doing. I knew before then, but that was my first time with everything on my shoulders as the one. And and every project after that has just got bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Well, speaking of bigger, well, now you're taking on this incredible role as Thomas in 1883. You get to be a cowboy. Can you share what interested you in this project and what helped you land this role?
Yeah, working with Taylor, first of all, I'm a big fan of Hell or High Water and Sicario and Yellowstone. He's brilliant as a writer. And when I got to learn about the character, the representation of having a Black cowboy in this Western genre set, their representation hasn't really been there in past films and TV shows. So it was important to me to play this character and to get it right. Buffalo Soldier, he's a former enslaved person, and now he's a Pinkerton agent. There's just so many groundbreaking, levels to Thomas that we haven't seen before. And I just really wanted to be a part of that. And you're playing with, Sam Elliott and Tim and Faith and Isabel. It's just, the cast was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just about to ask that. You get to work with this all-star cast, and I was wondering, this is something I was going to ask, what's it been like working alongside your brilliant cast? Sam Elliott, Faith Hill, Tim McGraw.
And there was a great humility on set. There was no one cared who got the credit. Like I would tell
Yeah.
Tim, like, hey, if you see anything that I'm doing, that might be better, let me know. Tim said the same thing to me. Said, we're all like, it was,
Right.
there's no cooks in the kitchen. We're all trying to make the best project possible. So it was just one of those egoless sets that's pretty rare.
I'm curious, did you have any prior horse riding experience? And was there any like cowboy boot camp training?
There was a cowboy camp. We started early
Ah,
August and we went through 3 weeks until we started filming. And
oh, wow.
most of us, it was great because we learned how to ride wagons. We learned how to herd cattle. We learned 5 hours every morning for 3 weeks. We were riding horses, getting after it, weapons training. But more importantly, it really brought the cast together and really bonded all of us together because we were all staying pretty much under one roof on the ranch. So we all got
Yeah.
to know each other well. So when we started filming, it wasn't like, hey, I'm LaMonica, what's your name? We all knew each other very well. And that's why the show looks the way it looks.
It's it's amazing. It's a beautiful series. I am definitely hooked. And
Love it.
but lastly, before we let you go, do you ever get to sit back and enjoy watching any of your projects you've been in?
I really don't watch too much of myself when I shoot it. It's kind of done, and if I catch it, I catch it. But
Right.
with this project, it was one of those. This is the hardest job I've ever had. Like
Yeah.
95% of the shooting is done outside in these crazy conditions. And
Right.
for me, 1883, the landscape and the scenery is the main character of the show. The nature, the horses, the cows, the just everything about it, and it's just beautiful to watch. It's like watching a novel play out in front of you, and then you
It
have the
is.
narration with Isabel. It's beautiful, and I look forward to Sundays just as much as people that haven't been a part of the show. So this is one of those family shows that I watch with the family, and we all get something out of it.
So true. Well, LaMonica, you got a ton of fans out there. They love watching you. We're cheering you on from sidewalks. So thank you so much for joining us. We'd love to hear more about what you're doing. Come back and let us know about your latest projects.
I will. You guys are the home team.
That's
San
right.
Fran. I love it.
Right on, LaMonica. Thank you so much for joining us. Much continued success. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much to our guest, LaMonica, for joining us in that interview. If you'd like to watch 1883, you can catch it on Paramount Plus.
For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit sidewalkstv.com.